Thanks, everyone. Welcome to PQ Interop. We are just kind of wrapping up the specs for DevNet 0, making our way towards specs for DevNet 1, hoping to have a live DevNet 0 here in the near future. Um, I think June, we're going to start off talking about Lean View. Yeah, walk us through it. What do you got here?
So can I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, so can you see my screen as well?
Yes.
Can you zoom in a
Yeah.
little bit?
Okay. So all right. Uh yeah, so I'm June from Ream Team and I'm building a Rust client for upcoming PQ DevNets. And also I'm interested in building a tool that can be helpful to devs and researchers in this PQ intro calls. So I last few days I spent some days making some architecture and how to integrate those things into a web app called LeanView. So, and also for the naming, I'm also welcome to any feedback about this naming. And you can DM me when you have some great idea. So this tool is so in this demo, I'd like to show the live app on the live network, which means I have to bootstrap DevNet for this app. So there is a so yeah, Rim already supports bootstrapping a DevNet from scratch. So just running this kind of command. This will run a node with four validators on it, and it continues getting consensus with 3SF mini consensus mechanism. So there's lots of things going on here, but I think that they are going well, finalizing, justifying, etc. So on this node, there is an RPC endpoint on this node. So this node can feed data to the web app. So I'd like to also run a LeanView app with this command. So here's the LeanView project. So it's basically a simple full stack web app consists of backend and frontend. And you can see the repository backend is written in Golang and frontend is written in React and TypeScript. And I'm going to skip some details implementation, just showing what is going on right now. So all those backend and frontend is Dockerized, so which means I can just use Docker Compose to run a full stack app. And there's a lot of things going on here. So the one of the core component of backend is indexer, which continuously fetches the data every slot second. So in this hour setting, it's 4 seconds. So currently there is a page. So in my localhost, yep, this one. So the front end is mostly built by AI. So you might be familiar with this kind of UI. So I can the design can be also improved, but let me just focus on this functionality. So the first part is more kind of a live thing. So how does the endpoint is working well or not? So it includes some kind of slot, the hash slot informations with the block number, with the block root, and it might not be healthy if the endpoint is not returning well. So this kind of is a live things, and the below thing is the table. So it's kind of a historical thing. So the first part is inspired by the fork moon, and the below part is inspired by any other blockchain explorer like Dora or Etherscan. So one thing I'd like to note is that there I'm aware of some additional features that can be built upon this app. So there's a database indexer and also some live fetcher. So if you have any idea or feature request, you can just share or raise your opinion on the chat, or you can also DM me about the features. And I'm also, this is just a very, very basic dashboard, very basic explorer, but I'd like to add more features on my own. But I also need your help about the ideas and what kind of things you want to see in this web app. So yeah, that's it. I can get some questions if you have. And also
Um,
repository. Yep.
yeah, I was just going to ask if you can hear me. I'm not sure. Oh yes, you
Yeah, I
can
can
hear
hear
me.
you.
Um, yeah, I mean, what do you need from us to also add us in the thing? So that's my first question. I
Yep.
think you already. I mean, Mercy has already been working on this, but I didn't quite follow. Sorry. The second question is, what happens when you have like, let's say, 5,000 nodes on the network? Okay, maybe not 5,000, but 20 nodes. Like, isn't that getting too overwhelming? Like the first part where you only have three clients at the moment.
Yeah, so this is just so the first question was the what do I need for you guys, right? So
Yeah, that and also because I think I understand it's based on HTTP request. Can we just mock, like, give you a first interface and answer? We don't know yet what will happen if that occurs.
Yeah, so I think this visualizing things can handle some crazy scenarios because we might face some scenarios on that. So I'm gonna add some features that can be also seen in any other blockchain, any other explorer. But I guess there are some features specialized for this PQ DevNet. So we don't have signature right now, but at the PQ one, we will have signature, and at the PQ 2, we will have aggregate and going on and on. So I guess I can think of those features, but if you have any ideas, just raise any opinions to me that I can add on these features. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, I just mean like I just want to see Zeem added to that row.
Yep.
So my question is just like, can we just craft something very quickly so that at least we can be in there and see how far off we are from being fully functional in your in that view?
Yeah, so it's if you're familiar with if pandaOps config, it's just like this one. So just I need one endpoint or several endpoints that run Zim node, which is also compatible of the RPC structures and response. So yeah, I can just add these endpoints.
Right, so that's my question. Like we just open an issue to discuss how we would implement this. My question is if we
Mhm.
just create the endpoints, right, the HTTP endpoints,
Mhm.
um, but they say like they return an empty JSON payload. What should we start with basically? What should we provide that's not going to take the whole thing down? And we're not immediately ready, clearly, but um, we'll build it up over time. We just want to see if what happens if we return like an empty result.
Mm. All right. So if I understand your question correctly, so your question is about what if the one node return empty response on the request, right? Is it
Sure,
true?
yeah.
Uh, yeah. So in that case, I guess this explorer will determine that endpoint unhealthy. So yeah, that's the logic. And so and also, could you repeat the second question? I don't remember.
Yeah, sure. Like you have cards for every node, and right now
Yeah.
you only have 3, so it's fine. But
All right.
what when you have 20?
So there's a 4-key app. This is it's also built by Expandops. It's about fetching about, I don't know, 20 nodes, I guess. And they are using Satu as a data source. So it is quite optimized, but we don't have that kind of data source, right? So I guess that needs more optimization. And also, I added all the components in just one page, but I'm planning to separate this monitoring page in another page so that this request can not be too burden to any other clients. So yeah, the optimization is not yet well done in this project, but it should be.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. You're just starting a block explorer from scratch. It's a lot of work. All I'm saying is, yeah, I just want to see how we could make it more readable. That's all.
Yep, thanks. Mercy?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, the 3 endpoints you pointed out for
All right.
PQ DevNet 0, is it just the 3 endpoints that we need, or are we going to expand on that also?
Yeah, so I put it 3 endpoints, including block header, and versions. But I guess fetching a state will also be needed, I guess, because that's what Explorer has. And yeah, I guess those 4 endpoints is enough for this phase. And if we have another feature request, we can add a new endpoint that can serve that data.
Okay.
This looks great. But John, if we can add the fork mode kind of a thing, I think we'll be needing that, because if there are forks in the network, my question is, how will you figure it out over here?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Zatu has some emits events on the fork reorg thing. So that's what this forky works by receiving the data from Zatu. So currently, there is no UI for the handling this reorgs or fork, but that should definitely be in the dashboard. So my naive thinking is about just fetching those endpoints and compare the block header or something to determine the forks. So I have to think of more algorithm about this fork things, because 3SF is another consensus that I have to figure it out.
You might not need to figure it out. I think maybe just figuring out what the head of everyone is, because everyone will give you a head according to 3SF.
Yep.
So you might not need 3SF in this particular tool as such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand.
So
you only need these 3 APIs. I mean, even if, for example, the version is not there, and what is version returning?
Like this one.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't see a big, issue in just adding blocks and headers or states for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
As such, I mean, we should be able to handle it. in that sense, we should be able to come around on this.
Yes. Could you repeat the last sentence?
I said, yeah, as such, Zeem should be able to come around on this and implement the
Yeah.
APIs because we don't see much, basically,
Yep. I can share some clean document about the definition of the endpoints that I'm using right now, but that can help for implementing the RPC. Yeah, I can send in the Zoom Telegram chat maybe tomorrow or after this call.
Yep, I think that would be helpful for the team for sure.
Yep.
Excellent. Thanks, Jane.
Okay, so I think if you have any question, you can you can DM me, and yeah, that's it. I can stop my screen sharing right now.
Real quick, so you are also working on forking Dora?
No, it's as fork in Dora might have a lot of code change, I guess, because
Gotcha.
there's a totally different consensus using in those chains. So actually, the app what I showed right before is just just a roll of Dora right now.
Makes sense. Great. The next item that I put on the agenda, Guillaume, I know that you opened an issue with DevOps, and I think that they're like spinning up an instance of Grafana for this group. I don't know if there's any
Yeah.
like context or update you could provide on that.
There's a very short update. So yes, the instance exists. We even have, excuse me, we have a Victoria Metrics DB intake, which is the same thing as Prometheus. I mean, they should speak the same protocol. At least that's what I've been told. So that's done. I just need to test it and figure out if there are some issues. So I am yet to do this, but yeah, you will have it by tomorrow at the latest. Well, okay. Unless there's a bug, you will have it by tomorrow at the latest.
Oh, good. Next item, I'll drop in the chat. Thomas, you wanted to sort of provide an update on the Lean SSZ. Your audio might not be working if you're speaking right
Yeah.
now. Oh, there we
I
go.
think that this is good.
Yep.
Yep. So with Felipe, we started to work a bit on some Lean SSZ things. Why? Because for the SSZ, we had like conflicts of types, and we had like only kind of hold the implementation, not maintain anymore, one in Python by one of whole team of the Ethereum Foundation, and one another by an external contributors remarkable, also not maintained anymore. And we wanted, as discussed during the last Lean consensus call, to make things easier to do in Python using strong typing, Pythonic stuff, pedantic, and all of the good principles of modern Python. So we started to work on that. This is almost finished, and we are currently reviewing this. I will just share briefly my screen just to show you like a brief view of what it is. So basically in the close all this. In the types, in the type systems that I have there, we have defined all of the types required to do the SSZ, so Boolean types or uints. This is maybe the simplest to understand. And so we have defined that with everything clear, trying to use pedantic as much as possible, trying to use clear method, modern Python. This is under review, and we have open sources, so we will try to improve it with time. And we have tried to implement also the SSZ in a very simple way. Basically, the most important things are in this folder SSZ, and this is currently under review by Felipe, who will provide some new peers and some new insight into this. But yeah, basically the goal was to renew a bit the ecosystem, because the last thing that we had was remerkalized. So this one, and it was only maintained last year. So we wanted something a bit new and more adapted to the lean concept. So we just started this small effort. I worked on this a bit this weekend and a bit yesterday. That is almost finished, and yeah, Felipe is currently reviewing that. I will then post that into the global lean consensus group that we have to see if we have external contributors who wants to contribute or to share some Python tricks, or yeah. That is my point.
There was a question in the chat from June. Do we need to use SHA-256 for hashing and SSZ Merkleization?
Yeah, for now, this is what we use. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Tom. Okay. Any other questions on that? Camille, you wanted to provide an update. I'll drop in the chat the Quadrivium client update. Gleam Mini. Gleam.
Yeah, hi.
I like it.
Yes. Yeah, I can really quick just explain what it is. So yeah, we also just open sourced our DevNet client. It's still lacks some features, but you're working hard to introduce them. Yeah, overall, it's DevNet client written in C++. Yeah, we use C++ libp2p. I think Rim and Zim they use Rust libp2p, so we'll kind of have it. Hopefully, we'll have some diversity there. Yeah, once our client is fully implemented. But yeah, overall we have block production ready. Briefly show it. Yeah. So basically here we have like one node produces blocks and the next node is basically just synchronizes it. In theory, yeah, we should give it a try and maybe conduct some interop, because we have the gossip subtopics implemented for the block announcements. So but yeah, working hard on introducing 3SF and STF there. Also I think Guillaume was asking like about the Docker last time. So yeah, it's not there yet, but yeah, it is also work in progress at the moment. So yeah, overall just wanted to give some update on this client. Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Camille. It's great to see that coming together so quickly. And it'll be nice to have that ready to go for the interop.
Yeah, most of pieces actually they were not even implemented. Well, they were either ready already or we just reused them. So for example, SSZ we just took from off-chain labs. They had C++ implementation, although they were not supporting this for more than a year. So yeah, we might actually face some compatibility challenges there. But yeah, that's what we need to figure out with Interop. But yeah.
Lean. All right.
If anyone has better name, as John said, yeah, we also ready to accept it, consider it.
I think, well, first of all, congrats everyone on a really successful lean consensus call last Friday. Going into the call, we were having some conversations about the one pager that I just dropped into the chat, where this is sort of where we're trying to summarize everything that's in the PQ DevNet spec 0 or 0 spec. And this is sort of follows a design pattern that is used in the primary ACD, Panda Ops, PM repo world. And I think that would be great if we could sort of start to consolidate all of the, update that with all of the functionality and spec PRs and spec test versions that we're planning to include into DevNet Zero. I think getting the first one, uh, sort of solidified. I'm happy to take the lead on it if people want to just direct me to, all of the PRs and spec sections that are going to be included in the DevNet. Updating it moving forward should be, relatively simple, just sort of tracking the incremental improvements. But I do think that if we go too far without capturing everything here, we'll end up regretting it, and it's going to be more work in the future. So our future selves will thank us if we take some time to either like talk through that right now. We can, I don't know the best way that we want to go about doing this. People can just submit PRs to update that markdown that's already been created. I don't know if anyone from the client teams or active spec writers have any thoughts on how to advance this. Gazinder, you're awfully quiet. I'm going to call on you.
Yeah. So what is needed from us?
Really, I think it's just a matter of getting links to all of the pertinent information. Normally, these DevNet one, single sheets cover all of the. Um, it will be a link to the current release of the spec, like say the consensus spec release. I don't think that we have releases bundled up yet, quite yet, so it'll just be links to the individual sub-spec sections. And then this is where we can start to track any active PRs. Normally it's EIPs and PRs, and trying to get everything onto a single sheet so that you know what's included in that DevNet. And then that's also where you'll track the, sort of have the test scenarios that you want to include in the DevNet. And ultimately, you know, document the interoperability of all the clients and if they're passing those tests successfully.
Right. So yes, I think this document make quite a lot of sense with that goal in mind, because this is like, anyone can come over here and it will be a starting point to dig into what is happening on test or spec or any of the clients that are participating in it. So yes, we'll be able to sort of link out branches and PRs to it, as well as the spec as well, and maybe also detail, write basically a bit of detail of what is the functionality that we are covering, so that we already added in the lean specs repo, but I guess we can extract out of from there and put it over here, or both the places can have it.
All right, perfect. Yeah, it's not the top priority. It's something more than happy to track. I think it's just wanting people to like have context on it before I start reaching out and trying to collect all the pertinent information. But I can take this to the
Yeah,
next level. What's that?
it will definitely increasingly become quite important, because
Yeah.
as we sort of get more and more towards interop, then all these things will sort of be very pertinent to figure out what is going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm happy to like update it week in and week out. So once it gets going, it'll be a nice kind of central hub for these calls and other things. Okay. I guess last week, we sort of felt like was the completion of DevNet Zero spec. Can someone provide an update on the status of, I don't know, I feel like maybe we're working towards a DevNet 1 spec and launching DevNet 0?
Yeah, so I can sort of give the status with regard to what's happening in Zeem as well as what is happening in the Genesis generation part. I think I think PK, so sort of basically put together a Genesis generator that would churn out the files that we need. He would, although we don't need Genesis SSZ, but he would still generate it so that clients can verify or clients can directly read that Genesis SSZ and sort of have less of a cross-client issue. And if there is an issue, that will pop up quite easily. So that part is ready. Zeem as such is quite near to DevNet zero spec implementation. We are done with fork choice and some of the changes that were introduced in the container and state transition function that I just need to port back. And so hopefully by end of this week, we will be ready and will be ready to sort of consume PK's Genesis file and sort of start a local and in us in process or local DevNet with our own client. And then if then when Ream is ready with it, then we can try interop on the local machine itself. But I think before we try interop, we would basically need some of the test cases. We need to pass some of the test cases because a lot of interop issues would be, pre-handled that way, and we could probably have a smooth interop. We decided that I think in this week's call in Zeem, PK, and we have to basically take a call whether we want kurtosis as a tool, because kurtosis right now has a lot of other things. It spins up execution clients, and so there is a whole lot of stuff, and there is a whole lot of tooling that, or whole lot of functionality code that we don't need. And it will be better to start as an independent package. But I don't even think that we sort of need that. We have a quite simplistic way of starting up the clients, and the Genesis generation is also not really a big deal. So I think maybe we can have a small shell tool that can spin up clients, at least to begin with. In the meantime, getting kurtosis ready. So getting kurtosis ready will take 2 to 3 weeks in the least, and we don't want it to sort of delay us and delay our interop. So we'll figure out a way to interop without kurtosis. But in the meantime, we'll get kurtosis ready so that we can finally hop onto kurtosis for that matter. Yeah, Jim.
Yeah, so maybe Reem can also provide some updates on it. So and Kazinder and me takes several calls about the Lean chain spec. So I think we three are all quite aligned on the same page. So in the Reem side, we already implemented most of the updated the spec. So what I have shown on the very first part of this call is running the network with the latest spec. So I guess in the Ream side, the spec implementing spec is almost done, but one of the concern is the optimization. So it's like a memory optimization or any other DB integration. So we are working on this. So I guess we can finish this in early next week. I don't know, but that can be feasible. And also, I agree with Gazinder's last sentences that as kurtosis needs some time to be prepared, we need some method to run this network in local motion. So I guess Docker Compose can be a great tool for running separate node in one machine. So yeah, so
So
I
if you
guess
are
yep.
just right over here, so the kind of tool that I was talking was definitely we'll use Docker images.
Mhm.
But I had something like a Lodestar Quick Start when I was working for Lodestar, where you can basically, use the tool to spin up a dev network, and through basically, it will generate the genesis and then start the network. So we have that kind of a shell tool, and I think we can adopt that over here to spin up the nodes. But yes, definitely spin up all the nodes in Docker so that it is an easy way to get the network going for anyone who wants to start it.
Yeah, so I would like to suggest to make a schedule of that kind of local interrupt things using the image from each team as if we are ready. So I think could you have any idea of this timeline before this the full interrupt?
I think this is something that we should start trying next week. So, I mean, I'm hoping that we'll be able to start at least figuring out the interop between Reem and Zim next week. That is my hope and aim.
Yeah, so and I also noticed that we both have some CLI tools to generate ENR, to be more specific, the set SACP key for the network. That means that we can just feed the ENR addresses as a boot nodes for each node that can also be handled in some script in a Docker Compose.
So that tool is that data will be available through PK's generator, so we don't have to worry about it. So PK's, so I'll share. I think is PK on the call? I'm not sure.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So basically, he did some work, and he provided some output where we had a discussion on this on Zoom call last Friday, and we basically figured this out that okay, this is the minimum files or the structure that we need, and which also included secret keys for the nodes, for the node P2P, as well as the ENR generation and assignment. So all that thing should be worked out. What we just need to do is basically have a shell tool that generates it and then is able to start Zeem or Ream node to read those config files, and then basically the interop happens.
All right. So after this call,
And
could
we
you
can
share
also add
some resources?
add lean view to it. We can also add lean view to it. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So if you have some, yes, Kamel, you can go ahead.
Oh, no, I just wanted to add that how we plan to approach spinning up a network is basically from day one we want to be kind of shadow compatible. If you know, this is kind of the framework that allows to replace some system calls and basically have discrete event simulation for the networking. The disadvantage of that is that it's not very convenient to use it together with Grafana, as simulation kind of happens faster than in real time. Basically, we can simulate basically hours of simulation in several minutes. Well, it depends on the complexity and number of peers in the network. But yeah, that's just could be one approach to do this. There are some restrictions, like for example, to be compatible with Shadow, it doesn't support IPv6 addresses and some other restrictions, I believe. But yeah, it would be interesting once we have all clients ready just to spin up the network using shadow, because we can also kind of restrict, for example, the bandwidth between nodes, set latency between them, all of that stuff. So yeah, if needed, yeah, we have some experience working with that. So yeah, we can help with this. That's probably kind of alternative to kurtosis rather. Well, not no, the other way around. It's not like the direct alternative to kurtosis, but yeah, it could be convenient to just spin up a network. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome to have, where basically you can control the bandwidth or the resource allocation to the nodes, and but that is also possible in Kubernetes. But yeah, I think that is all another tool to handle, and I have good experience with that. But yes, things can be a little bit painful in that. So yeah, I think for the next week we can just try to do these things, try for an interop using very basic or rudimentary things. And then as we gradually mature, we'll figure out what other tooling we can use to basically simulate the scenarios that we want, including what Kamal suggested.
Good. Yeah, it seems like we're kind of getting through some of these early growing pains and hitting our stride. Are there any other topics that people would like to cover? Anywhere you're blocked, need a review, something that benefits from us all being together?
Just one question to Gasinder about our spec. So currently one PR is open right now, and can we just assume that this PR will be merged and also apply to our code base right now?
The fork choice one?
Yes.
Yes. So I just basically, I just want to reconfirm everything and try to see that that everything is in order in the PR. As such, conceptually, the PR is good. I just want to recheck all the small details and get the syntax properly done, and as well as basically getting it implemented. And so in Zeem, we already implemented it. So basically a confirmation. I was also waiting for a confirmation in implementation that whatever is proposed is all good. So there are a few changes that I mentioned in our channel that we are coordinating for the specs. That there are a few minor changes that I would like to introduce, and basically we'll discuss it over the next 2-3 days. But as such, it is sort of an abstraction and does not really change the technical content of the PR.
Okay, so I think that PR can be merged. I don't know, at Friday or something, so that we can see in the master branch about the latest spec of the PQDevNet chain.
Yes, let's try to aim it March by Friday. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Fantastic. Anyone else? See some new faces. Welcome. Excited to see the call sort of growing in intention. Yeah, I think we're gonna start turning some heads here soon. All right. I will see you guys online. Have a good day.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Have a good
bro.
day.